So in this next lesson, we'll talk about view. I just launched Blender over again, so you don't have to close Blender and reload it again. So you can come here, File, New, General, right? So it will open a new, fresh Blender. So it will ask you to save, so you can discard, change it. You can not save. All right. Not save, then you have a brand new document. All right, so how do you view things? So basically this is how you view, right? Rotate around an object. So what if you want to view them at different sides, like a front view, a side view, a top view, a bottom view? So what if you want to do those things? So how do you view them? So there are two ways to this. I'm going to show you on the keyboard and on the screen here. So this is where you want to come to your different view. So you come to view, viewport, then you have it. So you will select your top view, so you can see the shortcuts. So remember your camera view was 0, so your top view, if you click your top view to take you to your top view, right? If you click your bottom view, it rotates to the bottom view. It's a front view, back view. You have the right. This is stressful. Having to come all the way, really stressful. But with your numpad, okay. So first of all, let's talk about this orthographic and perspective. So just like any other software, you have the perspective. You know what perspective is, to see objects from a perspective view. Let's say we zoom into this object, for example. So I want to see it from a perspective view. So you can see it shows, you can even zoom into this cube to see what's inside. That perspective view enables you, zoom into objects, see it from different perspective, right? But if you're press your orthographic view, you just see the object the way it is. So if I view this object from my front view, so I'll see it like a 2D image, flat and precise the way it is. But if I activate this right now, it will turn to a perspective view where it has a perspective. I don't know how best to explain this, but as we use it, maybe when we are creating characters, when we are sculpting, or maybe animating a character, you'll really understand what this different view does, right? But I love the perspective, and I love both of them anyway, but I mostly use the orthographic view, right? Orthographic, so it helps me see object the way it is. So we saw, like you can see, this is the front view orthographic view. It will show you details of which view you're in, right? If you're not in any view, it will show you user view, so you can rotate anyhow you want it. But if you're precise, you want to be precise. So just like we saw how to check different views, so if you press your number 1 key to take you to the front view, if you press Ctrl 1, it will take you to the back view. So whichever view you click on, if you combine it with your control key, it will take you to the opposite side of it. So take for example your side view. To navigate to your side view, you press 3 will take you to your side view. So if you combine it with Ctrl 3, it will take you to the other side, that's the left side view. If you press 7, it will take you to your top view. If you combine it with Ctrl 7, it will take you to your bottom view. Alright, okay, now it's in the user view, right? So that's pretty much how to check different angles, because it's 3D, right? So you would want to see things from different perspective, kind of the way life is, right? So you can't really make a full decision, or you can't really create a strong judgment without seeing things from different angles, different perspective, to fully say, okay, that this thing is true or right. So the same thing with 3D. It's just, I've learned a lot about life in 3D. That's why I'm making reference to life. So same thing with 3D. You have to see things from different point of view. For you to say, okay, I'm okay with the way things are, right? So I think this is perfect for me. Perfect is relative. Right? Definition is perfect. The definition of perfect depends on who is looking at it. Right? Some other person will see it and say it's not perfect, but you are seeing it. It's perfect to you. Then it's perfect. So this, you have to see things from different views. So your num-pad 1, front view, 3 for side view, top views for 7, 0 for camera view. So that's it about different views. So there's a perspective and orthographic, so you can change them here. So the keyboard shortcut is 5 to switch between your orthographic and perspective. So the thing with the orthographic is, as you zoom in, you can't really zoom into the cube and see things inside the cube. But if you click your 5 key, so you can really see things. They all have their limitations anyway. This is like, you can't really zoom in and very like into the mesh like that. But if you're in your orthographic view, you could really zoom in on the mesh. So sometimes you experience those limitations. So this is me seeing things in my perspective view. This is inside the keyboard. So let's take, for example, you're creating a room that has chairs and TV and all. So you would want to use your perspective view to see things inside the room, outside the world. So this is your world. This is inside. Just see it that way. You're seeing things inside the box. So perspective, orthographic with your num-pad, or you just click here. All right. So next is, all these other tools will be best explained, by practice. So I don't want to bore you with plenty theories. So let's just explain it by practice. So the next thing we'll learn is how to add objects, add back our cube, edit our cube, and pretty much create something, right? So that's the next thing we'll learn how to do, how to add stuff. So the basics, how to rotate. So that's basically what you have to know: how to rotate around the 3D viewport, how to move stuff, right? How to save, how to also you can undo and redo. I can also check undo history. Okay, so you can also find it. So if you can't do your Control-Z or Control, so to redo is Shift Control-Z to redo. So that's pretty much it. So that's it for this basic. So the rest will pretty much be shown, will pretty much be learned by practice. So in this lesson we will learn how to add objects. So there are different ways to add objects. So you could come here, add mesh. Remember our cube, so there are different primitives, there are different meshes. In Blender it's called mesh. In Maya or 3ds Max it's called primitive. Sorry about that. See, let's add our cube. So here is our humble cube. Awesome. So you could add a different primitives you could add. So there is curves, different kind of curves, surface. Never really used all these. Metaball. There's the text. You can add text. So let's delete this. You could add text. You can add grease pencil. Don't worry, you won't understand what this does. Let's not go through that. So let's stick to the basics. It's pretty advanced anyway. empties, images as background reference, as planes. You can add lights. So this by default Blender comes with a point light. So you could add a sun. Yeah, you can add sunlight, spotlights, area light. So there are different lighting system. There's a camera, you have the dolly cam, the crane cam, all the production managers in the building. So you have dolly here, yeah, you have it. You have a crane, yeah, you don't have it, sorry, I have a crane. Somebody asked me, do you have a crane camera? I say yes, I do have a crane in 3D. Anyway, I have a dolly, yeah, it's free, I have it. You have speaker, wind force. So all these will be best explained by practice, right? So same thing here, remember your move tools and all, so you could still see them here. So let's stick to adding. So we've added text, let's delete that for now. So let's add an object. So we added a cube. Awesome. So when you add a cube for the first time, when you just freshly add a cube, there's always this menu down here. You know, you could scale the size, you know, move it, rotate, pretty much the same way you want to do it, but sometimes I don't use it majorly, but just so you know, there's always a window for it. There's little, you know, option right down here for you to tweak, you know, tweak it. So that's pretty much it. Check for the alignment and also. I didn't talk about this because you may not need to use them. If I see a need for you to use them, I would, you know, by all means, I'll teach you how to do it. So that's how to add objects to the 3D viewport. You could add a circle. There's also, each primitive comes with an option down here. You could add a cylinder, an ecosphere, a sphere, so pretty much anything. So Control Z, add cube. Awesome. So next is, how do you edit this? Remember I showed you how to you know, scale objects. So what if you want to edit them, you know, how do I put this? How do you want to edit this mesh? So all you have to do is press your tab key to go to edit. This pie menu will come up. Go to edit. So you now have this option. So you have several other options there to choose from. Right? So just like I showed you your move tool, so they are all an edited mesh is made up of vertices, edges, and faces. So this point, some software call it point, like Maya, they are called points or vertices, right? So they are called different points. So you could move these points, remember, with your G key. So I want to edit this cube, for example. Press G key to move, right? R to rotate. It won't really rotate because it's a point. But if you come here and select different and have different manipulation mode, right? I want to manipulate it. I want to manipulate it via the edges. So if I click the edge, it will manipulate. I can scale edge. So that's how, pretty much how you could start creating stuff. It's just pretty much scaling, right? So you could rotate, you could move, so you can manipulate this cube from the humble cube that it is to this, I don't know what to call this, right? So you can manipulate it via the faces. You can click on the face to manipulate objects. So So that's it, how to manipulate stuff, how to manipulate this, anything, pretty much anything. So you can manipulate it in the object mode. So remember, you used your tab key, so you could also do the same thing here. So there's a different manipulation mode, right? So this is your object mode. If you go back to your object mode, this is, you can scale it now. So I think we just created, you could create a mountain from this stuff, anything, anyway. So come back to your edit mode to manipulate, pretty much. So you would want to model in this mode. This is the mode you use in modeling. Move stuff around. You know, you can also move in the Y, the Z, or the scale in different axes too, remember. Right? I'm rotating using my middle mouse, clicking and dragging my middle mouse to rotate around the 3D viewport. So that's pretty much how to move stuff around in Blender in the edit mode, manipulates object.